97.9 The Box is the Madd Hatta
Morning Show.
And I hope I say this correctly. Josh Vietti.
Vietti, like
Vietti.
spaghetti.
Yeah, I got
Josh
it.
Vietti.
Josh Vietti.
Spaghetti.
Professional. Well, you know, what's the actual name for violinist? I want to say
violinist.
Is that hip hop violinist? But you've been doing this almost your entire life.
Violin. I've been doing it since I was 4 years old.
Yeah, so this is nothing for you. So you have to tell us the transition to when it started turning into, you know what, I think I could play some hip hop with this. But go back. How did you know? How did your parents know that you would be good at the violin? Was this something you were forced? Because, you know, sometimes parents can force you into things.
I was forced into it.
Okay, you were.
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate your honesty.
I hated practicing almost my entire life. I'm great.
Shut up, man.
But if my mom didn't force me to do it, later in life, it wouldn't have been so easy to pick it back up.
So you abandoned it.
Not abandon it, just didn't pursue it. I didn't think you could make a living playing the violin.
So what happened?
After college, actually, I studied communications. I got a job I really hated. And I was making demos for fun at work in GarageBand. And then I pressed my own CD, went out to the 3rd Street Promenade in Southern California. Mm-hmm. And within 15 minutes, I had the biggest crowd I've ever had. I sold probably 100 CDs. And I was like, wow, people actually like this. And they'll pay for it. That's so cool. I was like, and then I got kicked out.
So you just did this out the blue. You said, this is what I'm going to do.
I want to try it. But then I got kicked out because I didn't have a permit. And I was like, I'm going to figure out how to do this for real. Mm-hmm. And so I started busking or street performing until I started making enough money where I could quit my job. Did that for 4 or 5 years until I had my first break, and then I've been touring since then.
Ooh, what was
serious?
your first break?
Wow.
What was first break?
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, first break, 2010, NBA All-Star Game commercial, LeBron, Wade dunking, narrated by Common, and I was the guy playing the subway on the violin.
What?
For real.
Oh, wow.
H-Town
yeah.
How did you get that?
H-Town for real.
Now, how much were you making when you were just street performing?
I sold 50,000 CDs on the street. For real.
For how much?
I made that my whole job. $10 a piece.
What? Okay. All right, so go back. So when
you stopped street performing this?
Well, you know what? Actually, it's fun. I've definitely worked hard, but nobody buys CDs anymore. I hate to say it. So now it's about streams.
Yeah.
Which is actually not bad. There's like 0 overhead, and if you put out good music, people will listen to it, and they'll find it. So that's pretty cool.
So how did you decide that, you know what, this is going to be my thing? I'm going to make this music and sell it. Is there a conversation you have with your family? Is there something that you discuss, you know, with your people, or you just
the first show I did on the street? It was like God saying, "Hey, this is your proof of concept. Now go get it." And then I did.
And you knew it was going to work when? The first time when you knew it.
I never assumed it wouldn't after that. To be honest with you. So I just plugged away, and I would set goals. I'm like, I'm not going to leave today until I sell this many CDs, and I would just stay out there until I did it. Every single day.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Set goals.
Wow.
Gym number 1.
Thanks, Jim. I guess throughout this interview, you'll give us the different gyms as they occur.
Yes.
So, okay, this starts to happen. How do you get to the point where you sell the 50,000 CDs? Or how do you know that you're being so successful that you can even sell that many?
Because it was just what I did repeatedly day in and day out.
That's all you did every day?
Yeah. So I wasn't playing hip-hop originally. I was just mixing cool beats I found in GarageBand with classical melodies. It didn't occur to me that hip-hop and violin went together.
Right.
Until I'm playing on the street. Hip-hop artists would be out there and then asking me to do a studio session. I was like, oh, yeah, I'd love to do a studio session. So I went in there, and the first guy that pulled me out, I think he was on the Rough Riders. And I went into a recording, and he went into the booth, and he was like, no, play a little more percussively. Literally, his chain was swinging to the beat until I got in the pocket, and I was finally feeling it. I'm like, damn, this sounds good. Just the mixture of the classical melody and the beat, and then from that point, I fell in love with it.
So it never occurred to you before that time that you could mix the two?
No.
It was just a chance meeting of one person, basically?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I don't know if it was chance because I was out there literally almost every day.
Yeah.
And they weren't looking for the white boy playing violin on the street. They were looking for girls and some other stuff.
I feel
and they found me and they're like, whoa, that sounds good. And they gave me a shot and then I just fell in love with kind of like the marriage of hip hop and classical melodies.
It's all right, man. Josh Vietti is who we're talking to. Professional violinist, hip hop violinist as well. Go ahead, Cooper. I know you got.
So, Josh, you said your mom forced you into playing violin. How much did you practice as a kid?
Oh man, I would stand there crying. I hated it.
Oh.
But not like she wasn't abusive. She's just I wanted to go outside and play soccer or basketball or just not play the violin, but I did it anyway, and she kept on taking me to lessons. And
why did she want you to play the violin in particular?
I had really good pitch. Like I could match anything. Like I think it was at a concert she took me to. She's very cultured, and I was just matching like the pitch of the orchestra perfectly. And then with the violin, it's really tough because there's no frets like a guitar or keys on a piano. So if you don't hear it perfectly and you have the right muscle memory, if you're a fraction of a hair off, it sounds horrible.
Right.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it sucks. So like it's one of those things. If you don't have a good ear, it's something that's hard to pursue. Even if you're visual and you're a genius, the piano might be better because you can't miss that key. That's the key. On the violin, you have to have it in the right tuning. Like earlier, I was like, I got to retune because the humidity is like putting out a tune. I was like, oh, you got to hear that. You got to be in the right place with, and it's just like the fraction. Look, there's almost no spacing right there.
Right.
But that's an interval.
And
so
your mother,
you got to hear it and then memorize it.
And your mother knew that you had this talent, actually, obviously early.
I think she pushed me, and I'm very thankful she did.
Okay.
What did she play?
She understood music like theoretically,
Uh-huh.
but didn't play it. My dad, he plays guitar, and he was a worship leader for a while. So I always grew up with music,
But not necessarily violin.
Oh no, I grew up listening to like contemporary Christian music. I didn't know what hip hop was till high school.
Wow.
And then I didn't know like you could even mix it with violin until after college.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how your mama feel about you mixing all this stuff you mixing right now?
She loves it. She loves it.
Oh, okay.
Now my teacher, who's a Russian violinist,
Oh.
thinks you should only play classical.
Yep.
Is not too keen on any of the other music but classical. But now he's like loving it. He's a Russian guy. I can't do a Russian accent. But he's
I
like,
got you. I feel
He's
you.
like, you're my top hip hop violinist student. And like all his other students are in the Philharmonic somewhere.
Now, so when you merge, because you don't, look, the truth of the matter is you don't know that the violin is going to be, like when you did the H-Town for real.
Yes.
And I'll be honest with you, it was so many people rapping on it, but because what you did was different, it caught my attention. I wasn't that familiar with who Josh was until that moment and had to figure out who Josh was then. But when I saw that, I'm like, now this was an interesting way to do this song. How do you figure out how to get in pocket on a hip hop song? Because most of the time, sometimes it can be kind of sparse beats and stuff like that.
It varies. It's 12 years of full time just doing arrangements to beats now. It's just it gets a little easier and the arrangements are coming a lot more naturally. And I'll mix music too, and so I understand how you want to like chop things up and you want to hook here, you want to place it here. And initially, I didn't know that, and so when I finally like figured that out, it's really nice.
Is it kind of cool because you can do it all by ear too? Like there is no music, nobody's actually writing music, to my knowledge, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Writing music for violin to hip hop music that I know of. It could be happening now.
There's a few people, but I can count them on my left hand.
Really?
And I think my arrangements are pretty unique. So I just, you know how producers have their own signature? I try to do the same thing on the violin. So there's definitely a lot of other really talented people doing it. But I think I'm offering something that's unique.
So how'd you find out about Kiati's challenge too?
All right, check this out. I'll tell you how it worked out. So you see Gordon over there and Abby.
Gordon.
We work together.
Abby, how y'all doing?
We just shot a music video and a commercial for Acura. So
oh, really? Congratulations.
It's a hip-hop song that I wrote and produced by my producer, Tim Bailey from Los Angeles.
Okay.
And so we just shot this commercial. So shout out to Houston Acura dealers. And Kiati is in the video.
Wow.
So I flew out to meet Kiati, and we just bonded and cool musical chemistry. And he's like, he didn't know you could do violin and hip-hop. He's like, what the heck? But then he liked it. And then saw he was doing the challenge, so I gave it a shot. And then that worked out.
Obviously.
And now, like, it's pretty cool. Like, it's really awesome to be welcomed on a hip hop track because I've never been officially on somebody's track like that.
Oh wow!
For hip, I've opened for a lot of people, but usually they're like, we don't need that. So like, that's pretty cool.
And Josh, you obviously do shows because you had a show last night. You go all across the country doing shows. Now, when you perform, are you doing traditional, classical?
No. So I've got a few shows, and first of all, I got to give a big shout out. Mr. Killa Leon came out to my show last night,
right?
And he rapped my entire second set. He
freestyle.
Because
I know he can.
Oh yeah, he's dope.
We played his song.
Leon was like the upper echelon of hip hop in the city. Yeah.
We did "Want to Be a Baller," and then we did a contest. His idea. He's like, I'm gonna give $100 to the person who could rap "Want to Be a Baller" like lyric for lyric. So all these people were trying to give it their shot, and it turned into like a rap battle. For real. It was awesome.
So what's the next move? What's the next step for you? Because obviously you've been doing this for a while. You can sell music. They can obviously go online and listen to you. You can stream your music and the whole nine. But what is Josh long-term goal as it relates to?
Bigger festivals. Mm-hmm. And it would be dope to do something with Kiati even. Like, why don't we sell out an arena and I'll be his hip-hop violin guy? Or get on a track with DJ Khaled, stuff like that. Because I'm already making moves on a smaller level. So I just want to take it to the next one. You want to grow it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Josh, is this going to be just hip-hop, or does like someone comes to you like a rock artist or some sort of other artist, R&B? Are you willing to, to give up your hip-hop violinist mantle for like a little bit and play on some other genres?
I probably won't give up the phrase, because I've branded that for like 12 years now.
Gotcha.
And it's pretty cool. But I'm definitely open and receptive to collaborating with other artists. I don't ever want to close myself off.
Will you ever go back to classical?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
And I still train classically.
Gotcha.
I've made a niche or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
In urban contemporary music. So I play jazz. I do R&B.
Oh, so you can do everything.
And I met Gordon at a jazz festival. He met me at the Jacksonville Jazz Festival.
Okay.
So I play with the full band, or I'll do a DJ show or a hip hop show with a DJ.
Okay.
So it kind of switches it up.
All right, Cooper. Why don't you? I want to hear this. Play. You got Want to Be a Ball over there? What do you got? What do you got over there? You tell me. You tell me. Tops drop. Whatever you got. You give me.
Do it.
Give me what you got, and let's see. Let me see.
I'm running on 3 hours of sleep.
I know.
I did 3 shows yesterday. Yeah, 2 last night for my own concert. Then we met up with Kiati and I jammed with him. He had the Ying Yang Twins out at Diablo.
Yeah.
And then 3 hours later we came here.
Better get used to this life, buddy.
Let's do it.
Get used to this life. That's good. Hold up, cool. Stop right there. Hold on.
Yes.
Give me the other track. Give me the other track.
That was cool.
Now, do you do this off the top of the dome? Like, are you just creating it as you go, or you already got a pretty good idea as to what you already want? Like, you've done it. You've listened to the song before. You got an idea.
I just made the Instagram video of that.
Right.
And what's the record label that worked with Fat Pat? They just hit me up.
Rec Shop.
Yeah, they
got to be
Rec
Rec
Shop.
Shop.
Hit me up.
Did they really?
After I posted that. And I was like, I think they want to do an instrumental version. I was like, that would be awesome.
That would be kind of cool. I like when I heard the H-Town for real, I like, oh me, I gotta have, because I think one of you guys must be hearing me on the air, because I said I need a copy of that, just that version. So you got the other one? Nice. Now, Josh, now let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
When other violinists see you, are they? I don't want to use the word upset, but that's the only word I can think of.
Are you dirtying the game up?
Thank you.
I think I'm classicaling it up, actually.
Okay. And have other violinists talked to you about what you're doing or why you're doing? Have you ever been questioned by other violinists other than your teacher?
There's a couple, and most people are actually pretty cool about it. Like, actually, the bigger they are, and when they're bigger than me, they're like, "Hey, good job, man." They may not want to collaborate because they're like, but for whatever reasons.
Yeah, I got you.
But they're really cool. It's generally the people who are not doing anything that like try to hate on it. It's kind of weird.
That's always.
That's how it is.
I don't get it. I don't hate on
shining bright.
anybody.
You shining bright.
When I see other people
else.
doing it, if they're on America's Got Talent or doing this, I'm like, dude, sweet. First of all, you're helping this genre, which people don't think works. And so I love it. And I think you should just work on making your own signature and just sticking with that. So I don't really worry about what other violinists are doing.
What about now? I think also what could happen here, and I'm just curious, have you had other people or kids come up to you and they are inspired, not to necessarily learn about the blending of hip hop and being a violinist, but being a violinist and maybe being classically trained?
Yeah, actually, one of the things I do, I tour a lot and I play a lot of colleges, and we were at a high school actually a day ago. I try to volunteer at many schools as I can, specifically in underserved areas where they don't have resources for music or a budget, or maybe they don't even know what a violin is. So I live in Southern California. I played in like Long Beach, Santa Ana for some kids. They've never seen a violinist. And the teacher's like, good luck holding their attention.
Wow.
And I was like, well, that's all good. I'm literally just volunteering. I'm trying to like get back. An hour later, they were up dancing, clapping. And what I like to do is like give all the kids a chance to show what they can do. So I might invite a kid up to beatbox or to dance, or if a girl can sing, I'm like, hey, come up here. Or maybe sometimes a little girl, I play the violin. Not this particular. I was like, hey, try it. I'll get my violin. Like, we'll jam and it'll like inspire them to do stuff.
That's cool, man. So you're giving back and teaching at the same time. I think it's awesome. Like I said, when I saw you do the H-Town for real, I'm like, that's pretty awesome, because here was this contest that was open to other people to rap. And what started to happen is people started their own interpretations of what the contest was originally supposed to be. So you had the young lady that was doing sign language, people that started singing. I'm like, this is a really cool challenge, because usually these kind of challenges, they stay in this kind of like box, and it kind of grew outside the box. So I was very appreciative of it. It's really nice to meet you, my man.
Likewise.
Give everybody all your information, where they can go, where they can find the music, where they can follow you on Instagram, all that good stuff.
Follow me on Instagram at Josh Vietti, JOSHV, like victory, IETTI, Josh Vietti, or my website, which is joshvietti.com.
All right, Josh Vietti, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, brother.
Man, thank you very much for having me.
Oh, thank you, man, for real. H-Town for real.
H-Town for real.